When people talk about the First Lady of Qatar, many immediately think of Sheikha Moza, the legendary queen who still holds power in the country. But in reality, the current First Lady is Sheikha Jawaher bint Hamad Al Thani, the first wife of Qatar's ruler, one of the richest men in the world. Who is she? Is she happy in her marriage? Does Jawaher plot against the king's other wives? And who are these wives? How does she get along with her powerful mother-in-law, Sheikha Moza? Watch this video until the end to uncover the truth about Qatar's royal family. Let's get started. Qatar is a tiny but one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Its riches come from vast reserves of oil and gas. The country has a population of only about 3 million people. But unlike neighboring Dubai, Qatar doesn't attract large numbers of tourists. There are no world-famous landmarks or popular resorts here. The world started talking about this small country after the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The ruler of Qatar is Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, who took the throne in 2013 after his father, Sheikh Hamad. He is one of the youngest and richest monarchs in the world. The total wealth of Qatar's royal family is estimated at around $335 billion. And of course, the most attention is drawn to the personal life of Qatar's ruler. Islam allows him to have up to 4 wives, and he has taken full advantage of that. There are also concubines, but their names are not publicly known. Currently, Tamim has 4 wives and around 15 children. Each wife has her own role, but it is his first wife, Sheikha Jawaher, who holds the title of First Lady. She was born in 1984 in Doha, Qatar's capital, into the ruling royal family. The most significant event in her life happened in 2005 when she turned 21. She married her cousin when he was still the crown prince. Tamim and Jawaher's marriage was arranged by their parents. Their union was an important step in strengthening the Al Thani dynasty. They have 4 children together. Jawaher rarely takes on public duties. Maybe it's because her mother-in-law, Sheikha Moza, is not ready to hand over all the power yet. However, when traveling abroad, it is Jawaher who represents Qatar as the First Lady. But will she be able to keep this status? If the Emir's first marriage was arranged, his second was for love. Tamim's chosen bride was Al-Anud bint Mana Al-Hajri, the daughter of Qatar's former ambassador to Jordan. She comes from the small but influential Al-Hajri clan, which has a long-standing rivalry with the Al-Misned clan, the family of Sheikha Moza. The mother of the crown prince was not happy about giving her son's attention to her family's rivals. So she made Tamim promise that she would choose his next wife herself. Sheikh Tamim agreed, and in 2009, he married his beloved Al-Anud. She gave birth to 5 children. The Emir's third wife is Noura bint Hathal al-Dosari, whom he married in 2014. She was personally chosen by Sheikha Moza. Noura worked as a journalist for Al Jazeera and did not want to leave her career for marriage, but she had to follow the royal family's decision. She has since given birth to 4 children. The 4th wife, Sheikha Aisha Al Thani, also had little say in her fate. She is another cousin of Qatar's ruler. This marriage was arranged by the Emir's father, Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, as a counterbalance to Sheikha Moza's pick. At one point, Sheikha Aisha was known for attending the most glamorous European parties, until, reportedly, Sheikha Moza put an end to it. Sheikha Aisha has also given birth to several children. However, for unknown reasons, there is little public information about her and her children. But are these women truly happy in their marriages? The life of the First Lady seems like a fairy tale. She is regularly seen at official events, accompanying her husband. She always looks flawless and prefers clothing from world-famous brands like Dior. But behind this image lies a life full of intrigue. In a polygamous marriage, every wife tries to maintain her influence, and Sheikha Jawaher is no exception. After giving birth to 4 heirs, she cannot afford to relax. She has to be perfect in everything. It's likely that her beloved mother-in-law, Sheikha Moza, recommended her own plastic surgeons to her daughter-in-law. After all, in her husband's harem, beauty is not a privilege. It's a necessity. In a few years, Qatar's ruler will personally choose one of his sons as his successor. That's why there is an ongoing silent battle among the emir's wives for the title of the crown prince's mother. Sheikha Jawaher, as the first wife, is taking active steps to bring her son Hamad closer to the throne. According to opposition media reports, she is working on a plan to strengthen her control in the palace, trying to push the emir's other wives out of the power struggle. The conflict among Tamim's wives has intensified, with each trying to secure a priority position for her child in the line of succession. In this hidden rivalry, Jawaher is using the same strategies once employed by Sheikha Moza. She aims to repeat her mother-in-law's success so that her son becomes the next heir. Sheikha Moza has always been a master of palace intrigue. Even as the second wife of the former ruler of Qatar, she managed to convince her husband to pass the throne not to the eldest son from his first wife, but to her own son, Tamim. This became one of the most significant events in Qatar's royal history. Knowing this, Sheikha Jawaher is determined to keep power in her hands. She understands that in the royal family, every mistake could cost her children their right to the throne. That's why she doesn't allow Tamim's other wives to take part in important affairs. Like Sheikha Moza, she is playing the long game. The First Lady is actively executing her plan. In the past, her husband used to travel abroad alone. But since 2022, Jawaher has started accompanying him more frequently. Her first official trip was a visit to Spain. Now, she often travels with him, showcasing herself and her influence on the global stage. Despite the palace intrigues, the emir's wives continue to enjoy a life of luxury. For a long time, the ruler of Qatar tried to keep his wealth out of the spotlight. But a few years ago, the extent of his fortune became known when he decided to sell one of his 14 private jets. A golden airliner, Boeing, converted into a private residence for $370 million. Rumors suggest that the emir gifted another jet worth $500 million to Turkish President Erdogan as a gesture of gratitude for his support during Qatar's conflict with Saudi Arabia. Most often, the emir flies to Paris to watch training sessions of his football club, PSG. The royal family also owns several super yachts, including the famous Al Lusail. The Al Thani family owns numerous palaces worldwide. The main residence is the Amiri Diwan in Doha, Qatar's capital, where official meetings and ceremonies take place. However, the emir and his family reside in the Al Wajba Palace. In fact, he owns about 10 similar estates across the country. He also owns villas in Oman, luxury properties in London, the Harrods department store, and the famous Dudley House, a 4,000 square metre mansion in central London. Unlike his mother, Sheikha Moza, whose influence and fashion sense make her one of the most prominent figures in the Arab world, information about the emir's personal life, his wives, and his children is strictly guarded. Sheikha Moza's political power is so great that her son, the emir, is often accused of being under her control, unable to make any decisions without her advice. But will Sheikha Jawaher manage to overshadow all the other wives and even the legendary Sheikha Moza? Or will her role remain limited to being the First Lady? Share your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and give it a like. See you soon.